Pull the string! Pull the string!
This video was personally hard to make. Now, as part of STAUNCH-O-WEEN, last year I covered a certain Leslie Nielsen horror spoof comedy classic. And this year, well, I thought I'd do another. And also I've wanted to cover Mel Brooks films for some time now. Although, my favorite Mel Brooks film is kind of universally hated for some reason, I don't know. However, this year, I kind of decided to merge the two ideas. As we all know, Mel Brooks is responsible for one of the best horror spoofs of all time, and it's beloved by us all. However, he did do another one, and it's a movie that exists.
If she dies, a victim of this unspeakable creature, she will become one herself. What? She will become one herself.
Dracula, dead and loving it.
Anyone who is fortunate enough to grow up watching Leslie Nielsen films, well, you know how it is. He was the great white grandpa that none of us had. And we got to see him go to his highest highs and his lowest lows. And while I was a bit too young to grow up with Mr. Brooks, well, I did watch his films early on. I was very familiar with him by the time Men in Tights came around, because at that point I'd watched Spaceballs like a million times. And I was aware of his past films when I watched Robin Hood Men in Tights, and my personal favorite, Life Stinks. More on those films some other time. But the trio of Life Stinks, Men in Tights, and Dead and Loving It acts as Mel Brooks' apocalypse trilogy, if you will. And sadly, would mark the end of his directorial efforts till this day. I mean, a lot of the gags seem to fall kind of flat or just really go on too long. Leslie Nielsen somehow also seems kind of underwhelming here, which sucks. I don't know, I mean, I guess he was getting a little old for this kind of stuff, but he seems like he was having fun on set. In fact, I think he might be one of the oldest people to actually play Dracula on screen.
Well, I did Frankenstein Jr., and I said I need a companion piece. I need, and then Coppola did Dracula, and I always loved the Bela Lugosi, the first one that we did in America in the 30s. And so I said, it's time. And I was watching Leslie Nielsen in one of this Naked Gun, 33 and the third. Remember? And I said, that's when I got together. He is a perfect Dracula.
Dracula, Dead and Loving It would be a spoof of Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is pretty apparent. But it was also an homage to the Hammer films, which featured Christopher Lee as Dracula. Now, I don't mean to hate on the film. I mean, I absolutely love all of Mel Brooks' films here. I mean, they all hold a special place in my psyche. It's just, I kind of see this one as the lesser of his spoofs. I mean, it's really unfair to compare this to Young Frankenstein, if I'm being honest. Maybe rather compare it to Young Einstein or something. I'm just kidding. I just want to get the word out about my Yahoo Serious video that you guys should watch. Right after this one, of course. Link right up there.
It's good to be dead, you see? So I died, and I'm dead now. And I just have to keep my eyes open for people with silver bullets, that's all. Better be careful. They're after me, I know, I can tell. Dom DeLuise, I'm sure, he's after me. Mel Brooks might be after me, you can't.
The film's led by Steven Weber from Wings, and has a great supporting role by Mel Brooks. And, a lot of the Men in Tights cast comes back here. Megan Cavanagh, Amy Yazbek, also from Wings. And even, Matthew Peretta, who was in Men in Tights, shows up here again. And, after this, he even appeared on Wings.
Watch your step!
Probably the best part of this film, seriously, is legendary character actor Peter MacNicol's portrayal of the mesmerizing Renfield.
What was that?
Huh?
You just grabbed something from the table.
I did not.
Yes, you did. I saw you. You put it in your mouth. I think it was an insect.
Oh, that was a raspberry.
Raspberry?
Really, every time the film kind of takes on a dull tone or has a few gags that don't land, here comes Renfield to save the day.
I know what they're up to. They think I'll lead them to the master. I must outsmart them.
Peter MacNichols is on top of his game here, And, you know, we all know him from other films, like, I think I first saw him in Ghostbusters 2, actually. And it was later on that I saw the Porky's movies. And, you know, with stuff like Bean, he was definitely a guy that I was familiar with as a kid, being among my favorite character actors ever since then. And in my opinion, he gets all of the big laughs in this film. While most times the Hammer film's aesthetic works, well, sometimes it kind of feels like a theater exercise or something. And it's these kind of things that make this one a standout in a weird way. Also, I mean, when you look at Mel Brooks' other big spoofs, they were all self-aware to a certain level, you know, whether it's the stunt doubles getting busted or having a dance number or multiple dance numbers and, you know, just being meta in general. I think that all of his films have meta elements, especially the complete shattering of the fourth wall. All of the stuff like that, I mean, all of that stuff that makes a great Mel Brooks spoof, a great Mel Brooks comedy in general, it's all missing here. Well, I guess there's a dance scene, but whatever. And, you know, Leslie Nielsen's time on screen feels really borrowed and sidelined most times. Sadly. Oh, and I gotta say, this Leslie Nielsen bat thing is pretty awesome, though. Although it did make for a strange finale. But then here comes Renfield to save the day again.
Monster! This way!
The film was a complete flop upon release, and was blasted by critics, although it does have a legit cult following now. And, you know, none of that really deterred anybody. Well, aside from Mel Brooks. I mean, Wings kept going on for a bit after that, and Leslie Nielsen would continue his spoof films with things like Wrongfully Accused and Spy Hard, both classics in my opinion, and he would even take part in lesser parodies, all with varying degrees of awfulness. And he would even kind of go the children's film route as well, with Surf Ninjas, and later he was even Mr. Magoo, oh shit. And he, you know, along with a lot of other forgettable films, but he did kind of have a resurgence before his untimely passing. Too soon, Leslie. We all miss you. But when looking at both Brooks and Nielsen's careers, well, I mean, it's something to think about, really. Like, those dudes made a movie, and I know I said this just a little while ago, but it should have been done better.
What was the hardest thing for you to? Where did you have to suffer most while doing this movie?
Suffer most? I haven't suffered a bit since I've been doing this movie because I've been having nothing but fun. I just really have been enjoying myself. I remember I used to say it about Naked Gun, but it's true here too. It's like I get up early to get to work early to start laughing sooner because I have a wonderful time. It's a pleasure to come here and to do this wonderful, fun stuff, comedy, working with a marvelous cast. But know that I'm going to be coming here to be working with Mel Brooks because he's just, aside from being so talented and skillful and funny himself, he's a very gentle and thoughtful and supportive man, and he's great.
What's your favorite Mel Brooks movie? What's your favorite Leslie Nielsen movie? Talk shit to me down in the comments. And please subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, share this video. Sharing and liking and commenting, all that stuff really helps. I'm trying to grow the channel. Let's do it. Thanks for taking part in this year's STAUNCH-O-WEEN. There's still a few things left.
Or maybe you'll think about hot dogs and you remember this movie 10 years from now, if you like hot dogs.
See you guys soon. Why not buy a t-shirt? Vanilla Ice has one. Don't you want to be cool as ice? Don't we all want to be cool as ice? Don't be a dick. Get yourself a t-shirt.
Pull the string! Pull the string!